Starter motor replacement for 2012 Buick Verano. This is a new package from Amazon. So I have my package right here. Starter is inside. Brand new generic starter motor is inside. So you want to get a sharp blade. You get your Kodachi and you use the reverse back end technique. So you go like this on the front corner, shoot it inside, angle it down, straight down cut. You can use that technique to kill as well. Okay, so we're gonna go inside. As you can see, it's brand new from Amazon. The 2012 Buick Verano. Just see there it is. Let's see documentation, blah blah blah, don't need that. As you can see, you need this. There he is. Let this hold now. And there it is. Brand new starter motor. Starter motor guy. Model 6947R. Serial number. Voltage 12 volt DC. Alright, so this is the guy. So when you start it, this thing spins after it shoots out. So it shoots out to engage the crankshaft gear mechanism. Then it spins, then it shoots back in. Otherwise, the crankshaft will keep driving the starter long after the engine started. Don't want that, because that will create a backflow voltage and spike your electrical system. Blow out a couple of fuses and there won't be good. Okay, so you can see it's there. It's really a nice motor, very clean, very well polished, just like me, you know. And that's what the girls want, very clean, very well polished. So I'm going to install this guy. Let's go. That guy's tight, and then tying this guy. That guy's tight. Tie this guy. That guy's tied. Tie this one. Alright, that guy's tight. And then tie this guy. That guy's tight. Okay. Let's tie this guy. This guy. Alright. Alright, they're all in and tight. Okay. If we could just get this guy. Alright. Alright, so once they're in, don't forget your clip, guys, here. Your mini clips here. Okay. So this guy works by just going inside there. Like this. So you see the bigger side? There. So this bigger side goes in there like that. It just connects it like that. Oopsie. And like this. Alright. Okay, so use a 7mm socket. Turn it to tightening mode. Alright, so just tie this knot. Okay, so there's a trick actually to these guys. So take the thing out from him, take this out of the clip, and then just put the clip directly inside the hole, like that. And then take the clip again, and then match the entry like that. And then just push in. Like that. And we are back to part 3 of fixing the starter motor in 2012 Buick Verano. So get your handy tools. As you can see, the starter is down there somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it's under there somewhere. It's easier to go from under, so we're going to jog the car around. Get your trusty tool, decent gloves because it will be greasy. Alright, so we got a standard car jack. As you can see, it's quite a distance, but we just need a bit more space. So now I've already taken the starter out, so next thing is we're gonna put this thing down here just like that. So make sure you put it on this thing. Turnips growing, I'm just kidding. Okay, so just turn this thing and make sure you got a good leverage. Make sure also the ground is straight, because the last thing you want is this car to drop on your chest. Okay, so just get your trusty tool once you can't turn it no more. Get your trusty tool and turn it. Wrong side, turn it. Alright. So we're using 3/4 ball. So now we're going to put the parking brake on, and wheel stops with the other wheel on that side. So we give the starter a good knock. As you can see, it's coming out. This is the wheel. So when you start, this thing pushes out like this. That's the click you hear, and then it spins. So we already removed the motor here. It broke. It was so old, it corroded and broke. So I just took it out. So once you change that, the next step is to change crankshaft position sensor here. 2 of them, one here, one down here, and this guy is a flywheel. You see, this guy in here, that's what the motor turns. So when you have Buick problems, like, okay, we're back. So as you've seen, so to take that nut out on the positive terminal, we will be using 9/16 sockets. So get your 9/16 with a deep trench kind of system, and then to take out the knock sensor, you need to use a flathead screwdriver. Let me show you. So you see this gray side here, you see that gray tab on the back there. So you lift it, and then when you lift it, this gray side, so you lift it to the flathead, and then you slide this, it should pop right up like that. You see, don't break your knock sensor, people, please. They're just simple techniques, you know, tricks. So you lift up here and it pops out. Alright, and then for this guy, I'm going to get my positive terminal up. Alright, let's put him down here. Let's see. So get my 9/16. 9/16. Turn it to unlock position. This is lock. This is lock. This is unlock. Okay. All right. Get your starter. Well, these guys are heavy. These guys are very heavy. Maybe I don't need too much. my 9/16 was a bit too big, so I switched to 14 millimeter. 14 millimeter. Okay, we're under the car. I already took the old starter motor out, so everything is loose. But if you're just starting out to do this, and you have a Buick 2012 Verano, so you'll have to undo this side, take the screw out here, take the screw out on this side, take the screw out on this side, take the screw out on this side. And then there are like things you pop out. Take this torque screw out. I just left mine on. And then pop this thing out. This connects to this guy here when it's all done. Then pop something out here. Then take the screw out on that side. On that side, yeah. And I know that I've already taken mine out. This is the engine cover underneath. Then just loose this thing out like this. There. And then you can see just sweep this up. Okay. But remember guys, I can take it. I'm using a scissor jack to lift the car up. You see how high it is? But trust me, and I'm using wheel stops on the opposite wheel. But I don't advise you do it like this. For me, I'm really good, so I can handle myself under here. But I would advise that you don't try this. I would just take it to a garage, have them lift it up, and then service it. Okay, so as you can see, just so you guys know, I will be as informative as I can. Okay, so let's start with the starter now. As you can see, we have our new starter waiting over here. So take yourself a screwdriver. I'll use this just for lecturing. Welcome to the lecture hall. Okay, so this is a negative terminal for the starter. Okay, this one will go so this bolt will go on this side with the starter. Okay, and then on the other side it's free, it's empty. And then the positive terminal, which is up here, will go on the starter side. And then the knock sensor. Okay, actually this is not the knock sensor, this is the solenoid. Okay, the positive for the solenoid, and then this is common ground. Okay, never try to short these two together. Remember, sometimes you may leave the negative side out. You're working on the starter, you have an engaged e-brake, you have the car lying flat with no wheel supports. So what can happen is, by accident, you put the new starter in. This is the crankshaft, and then by accident you'll touch this somewhere, like on the car body. You'll engage that starter with you still under here, and you do not want that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you where the knock sensor is. The knock sensor is actually here. You see this guy? This is your knock sensor. Okay, actually no, that is your knock sensor. Okay, this one is your knock sensor, this one is your crankshaft sensor. So I'm going to replace them both. So I'll come back and I'll change them. I haven't changed them now, but since I'm just putting the starter, I'll come back, take the starter out, and then change them. Okay, so you can look at the crankcase. It looks really good and clean inside. Just spray some WD-40 in there, and then you can see the engine. And also, for you guys, if you want to know, there are other sensors down here, like this one here. I don't know if you can see this one. This one. This is for the alternator. This is the alternator. Okay, you can see the pulley belt over here. Let's get closer. Let's get closer. You see? So I think this guy, I'm going to change him really soon because he looks really bad. He looks kind of bad. Yeah, I would just change him soon, but not now. And for the oil cap, if you want to know where oil cap is, this is the oil pan, and then this is the oil cap. Okay, dirty, I'm not sure why. Just have it clean. Take some degreaser and just spray over here and just clean it. Alright, so we're going to change the starter. Okay, let's see. Alright guys, we are back, and let us see. Alright guys, we are back. 2012 Buick Verano, starter motor replacement. I've already taken mine out, but guys, you'll notice that sometimes the new starter won't come with bolts. So save your old bolts and then just use them back. Okay, I don't know why they don't come with bolts, but anyway. Okay, so I'm going to show you the sensors. Okay, so as you can see, this is the radiator pump. Okay, this guy is a radiator pump. It's looking good. It's connected well to the belt up there. The alternator is above this guy. This is the oil pan for 2012 Buick Verano. The oil cover is up here. You see this guy? That's the cover nut for the oil pan. So the starter motor is here. This is the starter's negative terminal. Okay, so this guy will go on the starter and connect to here. The starter is in, the crankshaft is in there. Give it a good spray of WD-40, and then you can see the sensors up. So this is a solenoid positive terminal. This guy up here, this is the knock sensor. Okay, and then this is the crankshaft sensor. We are changing all of them. This guy changes out, this guy changes out, and this guy is the oil pressure sensor. Okay, change everything. Change out. Change everything. Okay, okay, so let's get started. Okie dokie. So the first step is get your starter motor. Let's put this down. Get your starter motor. Get this guy. Okay. So once you get this guy, they're very heavy, as you can see. This thing is like 10 pounds. Wow, that is a heavy motor. But they're in good condition, you see? Very new. Super brand new. Yeah, okay, so get this guy. It's very heavy. Let me put it up here. Wow. Whoa, that is a heavy motor. Okay, alright. Oh dear God. I think I should cut the video here. Okay. Okay, so for reference, I have the old bolt here. Just using it for reference, take your 13mm socket. As you can see, it's a good fit. There we are. It's a good fit, you see. So take a 13mm bolt from the old starter, put that down, and then come up here. As you can see, the positive terminal is inside. So we'll use an extension. Hold on. Okay. So I'll have to go from this side since I don't have space. Go put your arm up here. And then go slide along, and then come up this side. Wow. Okay. And then get your positive side. Remember, 13mm. Okay. And then switch it in the lock position for tightening, and then just tighten this guy. The positive terminal. Just tighten him. The wire is strong enough for me to hang it because it's zip tied. I don't know if you can see it. Zip tied to a safety harness up there, so the weight of the star is not going to do anything. Alright, once it's tight, alright. Also, if you have like seize, if you have anti-seize paste and dielectric grease, I suggest you use one designed specifically for electrical components. Because let's say you put the starter 2 years ago, right? You live in New Mexico, Roswell. There's a lot of dusty roads. You're not the car washing type. If you come back, it's going to be corroded and stuck on there if the starter is to fail. That anti-seize will help that, okay? So you take this sensor, so the next step is take the positive terminal for the solenoid, okay? And you see this thing? I don't know if you can see it, but this clip goes on something back here. Let me show you. If I can turn this. It's there. Let me see. You see that clip? Yeah, that's where it goes. So it just pops in, okay? So get your sensor. And then you just push down. You push it down. Like that. Make sure it's tight. Alright, so it's in there. Positive is in. So positive from the main battery. This is a positive that kicks in when you crank the engine, okay? When you start it. So this is not always live with positive, but it's always live with negative, which is here. Negative is always constant, okay? Because I build electric bikes, I would know. So this guy will go in this terminal and will be held on the lower side where I showed you earlier, okay? So remember, okay, this is a radiator fan and the radiator sensor is right there. You see that? That's like the thermostat that says, hey, engine's getting hot, start spinning. Okay, so I'm gonna attach the starter now to the frame. Now there's a trick to this. You see this opening and you see this curve, right? You want to go like this inside, beveled at an angle like this, you see? So this doesn't engage to the crankshaft yet. So as you bring it down like this, it connects to the crankshaft gear, okay? That's a very easy way to do it instead of just fidgeting it inside. Okay, so I'm going to attach it and roll cameras back. Alright, there's a trick to this. Sometimes when you put the motor inside, it will be tricky to access the far nut, the top bolt up there. So what I did is I added 2 extensions. I'm using a 5/8 16mm socket extension wrench, and I added that to another extension. So what I'll do is I'll put the bolt in and then I'll connect my extension like this, and then so I'll hold this like this as I put the motor inside. So all I have to do is connect the wrench and then tighten it like that, because sometimes to get to that top nut you have almost no clearance. Alright, so I'll do that now. Okay, now you get your other bolt. Get your other bolt and then put this negative wire here. So bolt inside negative wire like that, and then that's inside. Alright, so turn it counterclockwise just to level it, and then clockwise. Alright, so get your wrench, turn it to tighten position, and then just tighten. Alright, get your bolt for the new starter, and then get the positive terminal, put it over here. There. Alright, then get your 13mm socket, which is right here. Alright, so get your 13mm and then just tighten. Turn it to the tight position. Tighten it. As you can see, there's not really much clearance down here, but just make it work. Well, let me put the camera down and accelerate this. Alright. starter is in. Starter motor is in. So I'll just connect back the terminals. Okay, so this is how your starter should look like when it's all in. You have your ground wire in the main body. I use the old nuts since the new one didn't come with any new nuts. And then you have your solenoid positive, your engine main positive up there, and the ground, okay? So it should be inside like that, nice and tight. So I'm gonna put the panel back. Let's get out here a bit. Alright. Okay. So get your screws. Alright, so I'm gonna tighten them now. Alright, so take your 7mm again. So we're tightening this side here. Let me show you this guy up here. And then this. Spin your wrench. Spin your wrench, give your wrench a good spin. You have to know how to work with very inconvenient spaces, you know. Become versatile. Become very versatile. Alright. That guy's tightening. Jesus. All right. You see? Alright, and then this goes on this side here. On this side. Just like that. Like that. and then get your other clip, and then just do the same thing for this side. So get your clip. Make sure the holes line up like that, and then push in like this. Or an easier way to do it is to separate your clips. So separate your clips and then get the one with the hole like this one, and then find where it goes. So we know it goes up here, and then watch the This is the old starter motor. As you can see, we changed it out. This is the old starter motor. Very corroded, very rusty. I took this thing out to change it. As you can see, this mechanic still works good, but it's all busted up. As you can see, the solenoid doesn't work. It broke when I was taking it off, and very heavily corroded. So the only place to put these guys is in the new box. You just take your box here, the starter motor, the new box for the new one that you changed, and then just take this and then just throw it in the recycling.